grandparents, Yossi and Shlomo, Chana Bas Eliyahu Melcha Kohen, Yotna Bas Groma, David Jacob and Shmuel Chaim, as well as Meir Shapiro, who's inspired thousands of people to do the Daf Yomi. Also in the schluss, that to Saba Shalom and Sarah should also have a refuah shalom.
Amen.
Rav Shapiro was mazbeh the Gemara in Yemamis that Rav Gamliel was once traveling in the ocean, and he was upset because he saw the remnants of a shipwreck that he knew that Rav Akiva was on that ship. When he got to the island and got into town, he went to the base of Medrash. He was surprised to see Rav Akiva giving a shiur there. He went over and he asked Rav Akiva, he said, "How did you manage to survive the shipwreck with the waves crashing all around you in the water?" Rav Akiva responded with an expression Rav Meir Shapiro used when he created the Daf Yomi, the Stam Ali Daf. The simple meaning is, I was holding onto a board. Rav Shapiro darshan, it's also meant grabbing onto a daf of Gemara. Rav Akiva said that every time a wave passed over him, he grabbed onto the daf like a life raft that saved him from the sea. Rav Shapiro said that we are just like Rav Akiva, that we need to survive our daily storms. The same way Rav Akiva would grab onto the daf as the waves crashed on top of him, we also need to grab onto the daf as the waves crash around us. The waves of money problems, of health issues. We all have waves. Some are small waves and some are 10 feet tall. But there is one thing that we need to focus on, and that's to learn Torah, the Stam Ali Daf. I bring up the story with Rav Akiva not only because we're counting Sphira, but because everyone knows that he was 40 years old before he started learning. I look around the room and I think 95% of the people here are under 40. I think half here like to act like they're under 10. It's really never too late to start. If you start to daf today, you will finish in October 2017. Instead of 1 CM then, we could be making 100. How many of us have started to think as we're getting older, how much have we accomplished? We daven and we try to be a good Jew, but are we learning Torah every day? Will we look back and have regrets? I know what an undertaking this is. As the Gemara tells us and quotes the Gemara that says, what is the midah, or the measure of Torah? It's greater than the world. At first glance, it means exactly that this is the midah of the world. The Gemara says it's not only that the Torah is greater than the world. How do we measure a field? The field is measured as a base car. How do we measure something we eat? A kazayas, which is 4 ounces. How does one measure a drink? By a lug. How do we measure ingredients for a cake? By a Pyrex glass. But how does one measure Torah? That yardstick, that Pyrex glass, is greater than the entire world. Not that the Torah is greater than the world. Of course the Torah is greater than the entire world. But the yardstick that it's measured Torah, even that is greater than the entire world. So how do we get started? Rav Yaakov Kamenetsky says in Part1.avi, Kol HaSkol is Kashus, which means all beginnings are hard. What does he mean by that? That all beginnings are hard, meaning that if you try to do everything all at one time, of course it's going to be very hard. But you need to start small and you need to start. When you run a marathon, you look at a 26-mile run, you say it's impossible. But you put on the sneakers, and you walk the first mile, and then you walk 2 miles, then you walk 3, then you start jogging, then you start running. You take baby steps, but the key is taking that first step. Rav Hershel Schachter once asked, we say at the end of Shmona Esrei, Yehi ratzon l'fnecha Hashem l'keinu l'kei v'seinu, she'yibanu beis hamikdash, v'her b'yameinu, v'seich l'keinu b'sorasecha. May it be with your will, Hashem, God of our fathers, that the base of Mikdash be rebuilt and grant us our share in the Torah. What does this asking Hashem to rebuild the base of Mikdash have to do with us asking to give us our share in the Torah? What does one have to do with the other? There's a midrash that says that the base of Mikdash brings knowledge into the world. There actually was a room in the base of Mikdash where the Sanhedrin used to sit to draw information directly from the source of the base of Mikdash. The Gemara Baruch says that when the base of Mikdash was destroyed, Hashem had nothing in this world, that he only had the Dalet Amos of the Torah. The Yerushalmi in Chagigah says that Hashem is mevater on Gili Arayas, Shvichas Damim, and Avodah Zarah, but not on Bittul Torah. So when we cry over the base of Mikdash, and we cry for Mashiach, Hashem says, just give me my Torah. That's why when we daven Shmona Esrei 3 times a day and ask Hashem to rebuild the base of Mikdash, She'ibanu beis HaMikdash, you know what Hashem says? He says, Keinu b'sorasecha. I'll give you something you want, but you need to learn my Torah. So all Hashem wants from us is to learn Torah. Everybody now is into segulas. I'm guilty as much as the next guy. I think the guys in shul make up some things just to squeeze some more money out of me. But here's a segula. There's a Mishnah in Part1.avi that says, someone who learns Torah in poverty will learn it in wealth. And the person who is rich and is mevatel Torah will be without Torah in poverty. Think about that one for a minute. There's a famous story of the Nitziv when he was a young boy. He was a kid like any other kid, and he really wasn't into learning. One night when he went to bed, he overheard his parents talking, and they were saying that evidently he wasn't going to grow up to be a Talmud Chacham, so they may as well send him in to become an apprentice and learn a job. That night he went to sleep, and he dreamt that he went to Shemayim. When he got to Shemayim, he heard the Malachim announce, the Mechaber of the Merumei Hasada is here. He looked around, he didn't see anybody. He heard another Malach announce, the Mechaber of the Hemek She'el is here. Again, he looked around, he didn't see anybody. He then heard Hashem who said, no, they're making a mistake. That guy's just a shoemaker. You could have been the Mechaber of the Merumei Hasada, the Mechaber of the Hemek She'el. But all you did was become a shoemaker. That could have been you. I don't want to just be a wealth management advisor. I don't want to be just a father, a husband. Don't just be a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant, a therapist, a businessman. It's not good enough just to be a good person. Torah needs to be part of your daily life, an essential part of your life. People ask me how I got started. For the first 5 years I was married, I learned a little here, I learned a little there, but I knew that I wasn't learning as much as I should. I got caught up in being married, a newlywed, a new father. I made excuses. I was tired when I got home from work. I was relaxing. My disc from the Netflix queue just came and I wanted to get back in the mail. Anyway, I went to yeshiva every year for Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur. That year, the Rosh Hashiva got up. He done such a musaf and a hila that I really was inspired. And I'm hoping you're going to be inspired like this tonight. And after Yom Kippur, I said, you know, this a great thing would be, I thought learning the daf would be a great thing for me because it would give me a discipline which I knew I needed to learn something every single day. After Yom Kippur was over, a day or two later, my Zahara started talking to me and saying, look, it's a great thing to start learning every day, but you can't start in the middle of Masechta. You know, it's like walking into a movie theater in the middle of the movie. So why not just wait until they start a new Masechta, and you could start then? I thought it was a good idea, so I went on the Daf Yomi website, I checked the calendar, and I saw that they were starting Sanhedrin that Friday. Now Sanhedrin is 113 blot, so that would have been pushing it off for another 4 months, and I know I never would have started. The key is to start. I did Daf Yomi so many different ways. I started with the Torah tapes. I remember the first time I was listening to the tape on the train, and the Maggid Shir finished the first diamond, and he kept going. I was like, whoa, it's an entire blot? I thought when they called it Daf Yomi, it was just one page. They called it blot Yomi. I thought it was just to rope you in. But I did a daf on the 5 train. I did it in Shul. I did it on the B41 between Shaniko and Latifa. I did it on the Muncie bus. I did it on our trip to Eretz Yisrael. I did it in Aruba, in Orlando, online at the DMV. I did it on business trips to Washington, Michigan, Atlanta, and Vegas, even Vegas. See, not everything that happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. I went to Shiurim at 5:30 in the morning. I did it on my recliner, my dining room table, my backyard. I did it fully awake and fully asleep. It was just me and my art scroll. The point is, if you want to do it, you can. And it doesn't matter where, it doesn't matter when, you just have to start. So I decided I'm going to give you all a head start. I will sponsor anyone here with the first Masechta who wants to start today. Tomorrow's daf is Sanhedrin Samach Vav 66. Now Sanhedrin is split into 3 Sfarim. I could have just bought the next part of Sanhedrin, which starts with Amid Pei Dalet 84. But while that would have made sense more from an economic standpoint, because then you'd be getting an entire sefer instead of a half, you'd be missing the entire point of how you can't afford to push this off for another day. So I invite everyone afterwards to come up and grab this opportunity. I have over a dozen Gemaras there for your day. I won't hold you to it, I promise. I'll close with the Ramban. The Ramban says, Ein anu uma ela b'Torah. We are not a nation except for Torah. What makes us a nation? Not a country, not a nationality, not a political group, only Torah. When I open up a Gemara, I start with a Mishnah from Yerushalayim, from Yavna, from Usha and Tzipori. Then I continue to a Gemara from Surah, Pampatisa, Nardia, and Mechuzah. From there I see a Rashi from Troyes, a Tosas from Champagne. And I go to the back of the Gemara and I see Mefarshim from Baghdad, Fez, Germany, Cairo, Worms, Cordova, York, Amsterdam, Naples, Barcelona, Cologne, Madrid, Tzfat, Lublin, Krakow, Vilna, Frankfurt am Main, Volozhin, Prague, Berdichev, and Brisk. So I invite you to come with me and the rest of Klal Yisrael on this tremendous world journey, on fulfilling the tefillah of Yehi Ratzon that we say every day. Yehi Ratzon L'Fanecha, She'ibanu Beis HaMikdash, Z'seinch L'keinu B'sar Secha. Everyone who clapped has to come up and grab the safe.